you know? I don't know. I'm just kidding around. Chicago, you walk 5 blocks and it's a completely different town.
But can you always find a deep dish pizza in Chicago?
See, I get it. I get the fascination with deep dish pizza. I get it. It's like a cool thing. They're delicious, and I could eat them all the time. But to me, you got to go thin crust. There's no better way than thin crust.
Well, see, that's what we usually have here.
We're
usually thin crust people around here in my neck of the woods, and like thick crust is great if you're trying to eat a sandwich, but if you're trying to eat a pizza, you're trying to have crunchy pizza.
See, what's it like in Tacoma? What's the food in Tacoma besides, I guess, coffee, drink per se? Like you know, Chicago's got pizza. Tacoma, you guys, I don't know what you guys have, but what does Tacoma have? What's the signature Tacoma?
We honor our independent musicians, our local musicians.
Okay.
What about food-wise?
I like that.
Food-wise, we have pizza. We have, of course, the coffee. We have donuts. We have, what's it called?
You just call them donuts?
Yeah, we have.
Did you say donuts?
We have donuts.
Whoa.
Krispy Kreme
back
donuts started here.
Back up. Donut, okay? Donut.
This is a classic example of Shell's accent that she doesn't know she has.
No, actually, I do have one. I was actually raised out there in Oklahoma, Nebraska, and Texas, those 3 states before I came out here. And yes, my accent does come out every now and then when I hear other people have accents.
We had a whole discussion, I think. Didn't we have almost like an entire show about accents?
Yes.
Almost.
Episode 18. It's in Clayton's Facebook to listen to T-Mot. But yes.
How'd you go from the south? How'd you go from like Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska? How'd you get up in Tacoma? That's what I want to know. How'd you go from a ranching Midwestern cornland to Tacoma?
My mother had family over here before she divorced my dad, and so I came out here and been out here ever since I was 14, and I have not able to leave. This is the longest state I lived in my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've lived in the same state forever.
Congratulations.
So I got you beat.
Yes, you do.
I've been stuck in the same place.
You do. I always want to know what it's like for me to stay in one spot longer than 3 years. Have not figured that out yet.
See, it says here that Krispy Kreme its headquarters is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Was it North Carolina? I thought it was created here. My bad. I don't eat the donut, but whatever. I do.
Okay, fine. It's a donut. I'm not even going to argue. Okay, I'm just going to start calling it Kofi. I'm going to call it Kofi, and you're going to deal with it.
Yes,
you have
right.
Kofi and donuts.
It's Kofi.
Kofi and donuts. You know what? Let's just call it pizza while we're at it. Not pizza, pizza. Just to make people angry.
Angry.
Kofi. What? What, sir? Kofi with a donut.
That's right. Coffee and
donut. See, donut, like if you say donut, it sounds like a bad disease. Donut.
I got me a case of the donuts.
You got the donuts, man. That's like after you eat like really bad like Taco Bell or something, and you get like
that kind of gives
solid
meaning to that old Hertz donut joke.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, there you go. That's like where you get like 8-day stomach sickness and like
Hertz
there's no
donut.
end. Donut disease. See what you caused?
Yeah, it's like you know a redneck version of donut. What's a donut? There you go. There's your sign.
See, I've got family from the South, and they don't say donut. They just say donut. There's so much emphasis. Donut.
Mm-hmm.
See, where my mother and my parents are from, you know where Kentucky, Indiana, and Illinois meet at one little point? That's where they're from.
Huh.
So basically the middle of nowhere.
See, that's funny because where my folks live and where I grew up, it's in Pennsylvania, so I can agree. Pennsylvania has some excellent forest land and everything. Very beautiful state. And our road was the state line between Pennsylvania and Ohio. I would cross the road, be in Ohio. Go back across the road, be in Pennsylvania. And so it's like it's weird because you have 2 mailboxes, 2 phone lines, 2 everything, because you're right there involved with everything from both sides.
Wow. See, now I've been to Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, and to me it's like 2 different worlds in the state of Pennsylvania. And I don't know why, but I liked Pittsburgh so much more than Philadelphia.
Philly kind of has it kind of, I wouldn't say it suffers necessarily, but it has this preoccupation with being an old city, being like one of the early like revolutionary kind of cities, that kind of like Philadelphia, Civil War kind of stuff. Whereas Pittsburgh just it doesn't have that. Pittsburgh has the we're working people, we've always worked, and we're just hardworking people, and we like to let off steam. And it's a more honest kind of a city. That's why Pittsburgh teams and Cleveland teams can't stand each other, because the towns are essentially the same. The Pittsburgh and Cleveland are both like hardworking, just blue collar type people, and that's what they've always been, and they can't stand each other for it. So naturally, their sports teams are enemies.
Interesting thing about Washington, the state of Washington. Get this: donut makers were invented in Washington. Can you believe it?
I can believe it. We have a Dunkin' Donuts and coffee. You know, come on now.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Or how about, get this? Bread clips were invented in Washington. The little clip at the end of your bread bag.
Yeah.
That was.
See, I don't know where I would be without those. Those are really important.
How about this one? How about Father's Day? Started in 1910. That was the person who invented Father's Day. Was from Washington.
Cool. What part? Seattle? Spokane?
It doesn't say. It's probably like somewhere. It was in 1910, so did Washington even have towns, or was it just all trees back then?
I have no idea. I wasn't born back then.
He was probably feeling a bit jilted. He was like, you know what, kids? It's my day today, and I'm going to tell the entire state that it's my day, and you're going to throw me a party.
See, eventually it's like my parents, like on like Father's and Mother's Day. It's just like, meh, okay, you know, it's not even fun anymore. It's just like, we can do yard work now, and you guys can help.
Yeah.
Yay.
Like, okay, great, can't wait. Or like, where's National Siblings Day? We get to celebrate the mom and dad, but where's like National Siblings Day?
Yeah.
Or what about?
It's called your birthday.
That's true. That's very true.
That's almost like the one day out of a year where you can find something like absolutely nothing to fight about.
That's true.
I have 3 sisters, and we fought about a lot of things.
See, I have a sister, and it's just like, dude, you grew up with 3 of them?
Oh,
so bad
yes.
for you, man.
I had 3 younger brothers, so.
Yeah, but at least you were the oldest. You got to like beat up on them.
No, not really. I was the shortest, and I was the only one. So no, they beat me up every now and then.
I was second from the top, so I was the second oldest. So I was in a good position to make sure that the no kicking rule was well followed.
So you were able to just keep control. You were able to monitor. You were like the supervisor of the siblings.
To a certain extent, yeah.
Yeah. That's how it works. I didn't get
dressed up.
We have contract obligations.
So
contract obligations.
So just talk about this topic. So, what is it like to tour with your brothers?
It is. Oh my gosh. So it's like on stage we're best friends. After the shows we kind of don't talk, but when we're alone we all just kind of hate each other.
That's typical siblings. That's how it works.
Because like we'll talk and like I'll make and like someone will make a comment and they'll be like, "You kind of missed that note today and we're a little late." And then they're angry and then it's like, "Oh God, we're in the same hotel room, but you can't yell too loud because there's people next to you who you know. So if you get in an argument, everyone on the tour is going to know. So you got to keep it quiet." I remember one time we got in a full-on brawl inside the Suburban.
That's talent.
I see. People don't realize that, but thank you. Like, what other set of siblings is going to make that happen?
Absolutely.
And we have fun. Don't get me wrong. We're not arguing constantly, but as brothers, there's going to be moments where it's like, "All right, I've had enough of you. Let me beat you up, and we'll be friends later."
See, people wonder where the "boys will be boys" phrase came from, and it's just from having brothers. It's just what happens.
Yeah, you just gotta let your anger out. Just gotta spread your wings and fly. But it's fun. I'd rather be on tour with my brothers than someone not my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's fun. I think anything on tour is fun. You're able to travel. It's long hours, and it's tough, and sometimes it's not always fun. But at the end of the day, it's always worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're going to take a smaller break because we're kind of late on that one, but it's okay because we got one last song with Clayton, and it's Up All Night, The American Way. Probably a great way to segue into a break. When we get back, Clayton, we will be on the hot seat where you ask us questions.
You get to interview the hosts for a few questions.
I got to think of questions now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the hot seat.
Yes. So let's go ahead and take a small break, and we'll be right back with Clayton right after just one song. About 4 minutes. Don't go away.
Chicago, then over to St. Paul.